32 residents in the village were slaughtered by German troops. The killings were carried out on the 10th of June, 4 days after the war ended. The village has been deliberately preserved as a memorial to those who died. Thailand's opposition is continuing protests, demanding that Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra resign. There were demonstrations in the capital Bangkok Thursday. Further demonstrations are planned for next Monday. They will try to paralyze the country with barricades on roads in the capital. The protesters reject any compromise and the government's efforts to resolve the crisis through elections at the beginning of February.
This weekend, CNN is airing a Freedom Project special on the slave trade in West Africa. As the network casts a spotlight on modern slavery, one of its reporters meets a Ghanaian journalist who has gone undercover to fight child trafficking. Let's take a look at this report for more on that in this report.
A daylight rescue operation. Ghanaian police swarm a compound belonging to suspected child traffickers. Within minutes, the suspects are under arrest. The children taken to a safe house. Authorities say children held captive here were repeatedly beaten, denied access to doctors and an education, and for the underage girls, forced into marriage. I went to the office of the man who spent weeks undercover in the traffickers' camp. His name is Anas Aremeau Anas, a journalist turned activist. Anas is famous in Ghana for his undercover exposés of crime and corruption.
Traffickers have found the country as a very stable place to do their business.
These children, some as young as 10, soon find themselves in horrific, often brutal conditions with no way out. It happened to this 15-year-old boy. He was just 13 when he says his parents gave him to a woman whose name he never knew. Days later, he and other boys were handed over to the owners of a farm.
Even this job, we haven't done it before, so how are we going to do these things? And he said the woman sell us to them. Every day we are going to the farm. They will be beating and you will be working and they will be beating, you will not eat. You will not rest too. But if you don't do it too, if the man come to the farm owner, the allergy, he will beat you, rough and slap you. So if you can't do nothing, whether you are hungry or not, you will do the work. Even if you sick, you go to farm. They will not buy you medicine.
He tried to escape several times. They caught you again.
They come again. This one, they want to kill us.
He says because the owner of the farm was away, his life was spared. After 3 years, he finally managed to get away. He was taken to the Ghanaian embassy and then back to Ghana.
They think I was dead or something happened to me. So the time that I came back, they were happy to see me. They were happy to see me.
We went to meet Ghana's Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Nana Oye Lether. Lether insists the Ghanaian government is committed to wiping out trafficking and child prostitution. She now chairs the Human Trafficking Management Board made up of government agencies and NGOs. They've recently drafted a new 5-year national action plan.
We will push it. I know the Ghana Police Service is also committed because we've done some work together in that regard. We have to get the local government to also buy in this and the intelligence to also buy in this. But we're very committed to this. I see this as work in progress, and I'm very sure that we will get there in terms of ensuring that at the very minimum we are able to get rid of these brothels.
I know the inadequacies that our institutions are facing, but hey, I'm going to take a step forward and meet them halfway.
Anas knows by stepping forward, he's pushing the boundaries.
We do journalism because we want to impact on the society that we live in. For me, that is key. It doesn't matter how, or I do not have to follow any laid down rules to be able to impact on my society.
And before we end this edition of the news, a recap of our top stories. WHO and the Ministry of Health have convened a national policy panel with all the critical players in the health as part of the drive to reduce the prevalence of malaria in pregnancy in 3 sub-Saharan countries. France has announced a massive troop reductions in northern Mali more than a year since Paris launched a major offensive against Islamist fighters in the West African country. And an explosion at a chemical plant in Japan killed at least 5 people during maintenance works on the heat exchange equipment. That was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for your time, and until then, I am Fatou Janimbe.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين بعد نجبر لالو لمير لالو البدا ودا بافلال يكبو GRTS جان الله تفسير القرآن بنداتو السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته نعلم فينو نعلون دمين ولمو aya muang ani warawula suratul a'raf min ayol bediyam kan min tambita shaytanu man satallate ma subhanahu wa ta'ala nin adam nin hawa kana man satallate ma subhanahu wa ta'ala so be nga karamuta ko ala adam fintindi anin na hawa ka fal finti kale bojang tuma min kola ay la tubo muta subhanahu wa ta'ala adama dingol dandala shaytanu la karola kaje ko hakilo tunne sitfano luto kana bula shaytanu noma kan hakilo bulanda munake num bemba adama ni na hawala ni ko momo e ko mole wulula wura marsewto ala fano wa fabala amire bitala le yebula dinko ko nene o mari te kala kilinti tonya bemba adam dilbe wulula lam aninna hawa ni shaytanu lu kensan londi oto tonya nyanta kala njawlete wala subhanahu wa ta'ala alma ala sone ala mbe kanandi shaytanu mbata ala dame wala mu aya mu ani say masatallabe kumala o mol makilim o adama dingolu ka foye ko وإذا فعلوا فاحشة نيكو جو بارا من بوكو يكتوافن كابلا كرش كافرولو إكنسنو أنين كو جو تومالو من يالونكو آدم ديونو كاكي نيو بارا جووكي قالوا إسافكو وجدنا عليها آباءنا كنت لنغم فالو ترانين كن والله أمرنا بها قال تعالى لإنتري أمر ولده قل أفوينكو إن الله قال تعالى لا يأمر بالفحشاء أبوك يأمروك كوجا ولا موميك كومل جاولو أتقولون على الله أفعلك فن فعلم بن ما لا تعلمون ميالون كاتل مالون أتقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون أفعلك فن فعلم ميالون كاتل مالون ألا تمو يأمر لك كوجا ولا قل أفوينكو أمر ربي ماريو يا مرلوك بالقسط تلين ولا وأقيموا وجوهكم على النيادال لوندي عند كل مسجد مسر ما فنا سالدلالو على النياتل ولولا ودعوهم مخلصين له الدين على داني اليابة دينو كالسرين كدينو سنياندي أتى على تعالى كما بدعكم يكون آيال فلو نيامين تعودون البمرولا ولا نياما فريقا هدا جما دوبالو كونو أي من كندندي وفريقا جما دولبيجي حق عليهم الضلالة أكو في البنتيا ولا تونيا تولما حق عليهم الضلالة في البنتيا لتونيا تولما إنهم اتخذوا الشياطين أولياء ولي الشيطان لم تلون لا لتيل كولولا من دون الله على تعالى يدوم لا ويحسبون إكانينجيك أنهم كويتلو مهتدون كويتل فنم مكندنا التي كندتل كويتل بكندرين ولم يبتلين دين سيلو لا استرى لك وجا ولا براي ولا متكو ولا مكوت من ينتكك